That demo does look scary. He looks extremely scary.
He looks like you in the mornings. Or so I'm told.
This is Salamancer. You were watching SalTV, and this is a game that was already casted by XTV, but it was such an awesome game, I wanted to cast it again. And I'm joined today by Psunfragga. What is up?
Yeah. Good evening to everybody.
It's not evening where I am. It's like 12:15. But here we go. Already the mid-fight is going on here between Dummy and Banny. This is Quantic Legacy versus the Experiment. Right now, tied for first, Quantic Legacy versus the Experiment, third place. So going to be a good game. Wonderwall just went down. CB, though, got taken out really quickly there. Dante doing what Dante does best and never missing a shot. So as this mid-fight does end in favor of Quantic Legacy, it's looking like, you know, they're going to be okay, but the problem is Experiment has, basic, just took a lot of damage.
And Tyrone there, unfortunately, trying to bomb straight onto basic, but I believe that's Mackie's job, and Mackie's only running around with like 5 HP, so he couldn't do that successfully, but the Uber was popped by
so,
basic.
I mean, he's going to be okay, and he's got the full medic, like, Halloween set going on right now, looking pretty sexy. But the Experiment, I mean, they did have to pop that Uber, but they don't really have much of a disadvantage. And CB was not healing anyone for a while. He's just picked up Tyrone again. And the Experiment really wants to push out here. They're taking just a bit of spam, though, and actually, I do not see how Basic can live through this. There he goes. Gets taken down by a sticky bomb from Banny. Wonderwall is in behind, but he's taken down as well. Looks like Quantic Legacy's showing us why they're tied for first place right now.
It seems the Experiment are trying to push forward, trying to get CV, even though they have popped their Uber, so I can't quite understand why they're trying to play very aggressively when they are essentially on the back foot. There we go, Dummy taking out Sizer as well, so perhaps Sizer will take Sniper for last point. That'd be something I'd expect to see on a map like this. I mean, if you've seen Snakewater last point before, it's very long, it's very big, and you need that essential pick. CV is there with 60–70%
I think
advantage,
we are completely
really?
desynced here. So okay, so I think we have we've corrected our little desync there. The Uber does come in right now for Quantic, and they're taking out a lot of players. Basic down, Seagull down, Dummy gets taken out as well, so there can't be any more stickies on the point. Now Wonderwall looks like he's doing a decent job of working with the scout here to take down Mackie. Sizer versus, who is this? Is this Dante over here? It is, I think. And Sizer is now getting picked up by CB with 11 health on CB, doing a great job. And there you go. That's going to be the cap by Sizer. Really, CB saved that cap right there. I don't know where he was or where he came from, but he was like this angel who was like, Sizer, go forth.
And the really crucial thing there was that CB managed to stay alive on the last point, so it was a great advantage to Quantic, who were able to push in and continue pushing in and basically play the deathmatch game.
Yeah, Banny getting there actually way ahead of Dummy. Where is Dummy right now? Just arriving, although he did have, I think, a good overheal. Banny with some superior positioning, and already O-Played taken down, but in exchange, Clockwork, a.k.a. Carmen, has been killed. Tyrone is on the high ground right now and could spam down on Basic, but Basic's doing a decent job at dodging, and now up jumps, I think that was Seagull. Maybe Wonderwall, I don't even know right now. Yes, it's got to be Seagull with the original rocket launcher and his... That's right, he's got the robot set. That is the greatest thing ever.
And here we've got Quantic dropping back to their second point, trying to get out as the Experiment do have a player advantage, and we've got 2 or 3 of them taking forward spawns, with Sizer still yet to spawn, and we've got normal classes currently. So, do you expect anything to happen soon, Sal?
No, it's Snakewater. I mean, really, there's a lot of spam lanes that people can get caught in very easily, although these guys are probably good enough not to let that happen to themselves. Yeah, Quantic is going to have a good defensive position. They've got Mackie standing up on top of the fence right now, where it's going to be tough to hit him from that perch up there, and that's really what you want to do. He did actually take quite a few hits there, though, and I think that was going to be Wonderwall with some really well-placed rockets, just pushing him back a little bit, seeing if they can't get marginal positioning advantages as they try to push in.
Yeah, Dummy's trying to get some spam over onto the far left side, onto Tyrone and the combo. So essentially what they're looking for is a nice pick, and Tyrone just strafing out of the damage he's taken, but he is half health. So Mackie's taking it wrong. He gets a pick on Seagull straight away, and Uber is forced for the Experiment. Mackie still managing to stay alive with CB pushing in with Tyrone on the far right hand side.
Yeah, that Uber, I don't even know why that was forced. Was he trying to save Dummy? Regardless, he couldn't save anybody else. It's just Basic and Dummy left alive, and they are going to be running back to their second point now with that huge blunder, I guess, by their team. Everybody dying. That's going to give up middle point for sure. It may even give up second. Dante still yet to spawn. O-Played and Wonderwall, I just got taken out by Banny. I don't even know what they were doing. Maybe trying to bomb in from behind, but they didn't get anything done.
I believe they actually tried to get the forward spawn, and Banny was already there with his stickies, which is quite a common trap that you'd see sneaky demomen do. And CB does have a slight Uber advantage, but as Basic did stay alive, he does manage to help defend last point, and of course they've got 6-player advantage up as well. So we're just waiting for the pick and for the push in. Got Tyrone going through middle, but it looks like he may be going down here. Nope, and CB pushing in with the Uber into last point, with the experiments Uber being forced. No frags yet on either team. It looks like a bit of a wasted push here. I find pushing the middle entrance for Snakewater is usually the hardest.
Well, interestingly, what we saw was it was only Tyrone and CB going in. Now Tyrone's been killed by Dummy. Dummy, in turn, taken down by Banny. And the experiment's trying to get some cleanup done here. They are pushing really far forward, as I guess that was kind of a mistake to make that push by Quantic, but I want to go over that in a minute, because right now we're on the O-Played cam, and he's going to be chasing down CB. He gets one meat shot. Oh, taken down by Sizer. Good medic defense there by our good friend Sizer. He's going to help take out Seagull as well. Sizer with a 2K so far, at least from what I've seen. May have gotten even more. And now with Basic taken down by Tyrone, Sizer helping pepper away at him from behind. The 2 scouts are already running towards last, and I think Quantic is going to have this round.
Depends on the spawns. Yeah, they will have this last point. And just to mention that Carmen and Sizer, who are currently playing for Quantic, are 2 very, very strong scouts who they do a lot for Quantic. I could even go so far as they are clutch players. I mean, I am friends with quite a few people from Quantic, but Sizer and Carmen, they really do impress me, how well they've been playing this season.
Yeah, they were impressive at LAN too. As I recall, there was one amazing play by Clockwork, and I think it was on Snakewater actually, Snakewater mid, where he just completely cleaned up and decimated the experiment.
This is interesting. CB's entering middle on the far left-hand side here. Mackie getting the first pick on Wonderwall, but I played taken down Bang, and that is an essential pick on middle. CB taken down by Dante. Oh my god. So after that kill on Vanny, that's it. The experiment managed to push over. And it's just Mackie up, who has just gone down. So that's a wipe.
That is a wipe, and you were just singing the praises of Sizer and Carmen, but the O-Played Dante combo is nothing to scoff at either. Those two, especially Dante, who won the Drunken Brawl MGE tournament, he is an amazing scout, and O-Played is, if not super amazing on DM, which he kind of is, he's also a really creative scout, especially for the gravel pit matches I've seen him play on.
Yeah. I was just watching Sizer building Uber with a Boston Basher for CB until his heavier classes began to spawn. I liked that. Makes me wish we had some unlocks.
Yeah, it's one of the new unlocks this season, and I think we've talked about that before on the channel, but there's it just lets you build Uber at the maximum rate even if you don't have those heavy classes to hurt themselves. So it's kind of a nice thing, and medics really like it. Although I think I've asked a couple people and they're kind of like, yeah, that's sort of broken. Seagull takes down Banny there with 14 health left and then walks into a rocket. So the experiment could have had a little bit of an advantage, but now I think they're going to have to run
That
away
was an essential pick, though, to make, because CB is rocking out with a huge 40% advantage. Mackie has gone engineer to stay on last. And it looks like they are still committing to the push because they have managed to take down 4 players on the experiment. So that was a very lucky play by killing Banny, but unfortunately they were unable to reap the benefits of it by pretty much dying.
Well, Quantic is now holding on to their second point, so they're not in that danger zone where if they get backcapped they completely lose the round yet. And they have a good defensive position on second as well, so there's not even likelihood of a backcap right now. Oh, come on.
Mackie pushing out as an engineer, putting a sentry up on the second point.
That sounds like something Mackie would do. And we do see that right there. It's a nice little position. Problem is, they're actually being aggressive with his Uber right now, so that sentry's not going to do anything. So it's a cute Mackie play, but I don't know if it's really going to do much for them at all. As the experiment finishes off CB and Carmen there, they actually have lost a couple of players of their own, and Basic trying to keep Dummy alive, but Dummy was just backed into a corner. Basic flips up into the air there. That was really cute. And now Mackie actually looking like he's, even if he's not carrying his sentry around, he still wants to play NG and have a lot of fun with it.
Let's have very good deathmatch, as you would expect to see in Invite level, but unfortunately dies to Wonderwall.
Well, he got the kill as well, and he's an engineer, so I'm definitely going to give that one to Mackie. He gets the off-classing award of the day.
Basic really needs to get his healing beam onto someone at the moment, because CB once again is with a 30 to 40% advantage, and this is typical CB play that I would expect to see. He's a very tactical player who likes to gain his uber advantages, make his pushes on the mark. So, with Mackie still running as an engineer, Quantic could look to try and push middle. That is very risky play, and they have just taken down Wonderwall, so that is exactly what I expect to see from them right now.
And it's been the scouts once again. Sizer with the kill on Wonderwall. I think that may have been Carmen with the kill on... I'm sorry, on Wonderwall. It was Sizer killing O-Plate there. My bad. But you guys get the idea. The scouts are doing crazy work right now. Dummy did take down CB, though. That's a huge pick. And I think, did he just finish his Uber, or did he actually drop there?
I didn't quite catch that, unfortunately.
Well, there's that sentry, going to be completely useless. Mackie and his sentry are both taken down there. The Uber, I mean, it sort of took the attention of the Uber, but of course, with only 2 players left to go, excuse me there, Quantic is going to be in position for, I think, a little bit of a loss. May lose their second point here.
I'm looking to perhaps see a defense potentially on second, because Banny and CB are still alive. They do have an uber disadvantage, and really what you'd like to see is a scout pick here, maybe a soldier pick if possible, and Quantic are trying to hold it a little bit forward, but CB's like, that's it guys, I saw a rocket, I'm getting out. And Mackie unfortunately dying to Seagull as well. So I would expect to see the experiment pushing straight in with this uber. I would be pushing in on the 90%, so...
They did, there was a sticky trap there, but I think there was only one sticky bomb left after they all got scattered by a rocket, so it didn't do enough damage. Actually, that Uber, about a second of it was wasted there as there were some stickies, getting bounced. Yeah. But here's the thing, a lot of players, a lot of time on that point already, and there you go, the experiment. Even though there were 4 players left alive for Quantic, they were not in position to stop the cap, because Dummy had trapped a lot of them in spawn with those stickies. So that is going to be 1 round for the experiment, taking it off of Quantic Legacy.
So currently the score is 2-1 to Quantic Legacy, and there is about 17 minutes left in the game. So it's still anyone's match right here.
17 minutes and a half. Remember, this is ESEA. We have much longer games than you guys. You European wusses and your 30-minute time limits. Oh, Mackie bombs in at the beginning. This is one thing that when I was casting with I was with Greg the other day on another game on Snakewater, where he said, it's cool to bomb in like that at mid, but you have to have the support from your team. If you don't, you're just going to die and not get anything done, and I think that's what happened there. Mackie didn't have that support. Seagull finally finished off, and this mid-fight still going somewhat in favor of Quantic, interestingly.
Quantic did manage to get the first pick with Mackie, and the key difference between the 2 teams at middle... Oh, Uber being forced by, I believe, Sizer?
That was Carmen, actually.
Carmen, actually, yep. Forcing Experiment's Uber. But the key difference in positioning between the 2 teams at middle is the Experiment are walking in and they're playing very, very passive, waiting for Mackie to jump. It's kind of like his signature move to be slightly more aggressive at middle. And as a result of that, they're just eating so much spam from Banny, who is currently pushing middle with CB. And the Uber is popped, so Quantic are pushing into last point with full Uber, just trying to play the deathmatch game, and unfortunately Mackie and Carmen are being taken down.
They did manage to get the kill on Basic, so the longer this fight goes on, the more heals CB's going to get on his team, and the better it'll go for them. But Sizer and Tyrone both killed by the same detonation. Dummy getting a 2 kill there. Dante now just chasing down Banny and CB and completely ignoring those sticky bombs. Walked right over one trying to get the kill. But now he sees, he's going to get pressured by a scout. He's got low health. He has to back away from that point and cannot get the recapture on second.
That was some great class switching by a player who did manage to take Engineer and switch to a Sentry, which slightly panicked and added to the damage that was given to Quantic. And as a result, the entire team ended up dropping out. And CB once again managing to stay alive, as he does. A typical play by him. He's got a full 40% Uber advantage on them, and I would expect a straight push through, perhaps with Mackie trying to get a pick as they're pushing in. And that is exactly what I believe Tyrone is doing. Tyrone leading the push in here with Banny just supporting, and they do know there is a sentry on last point.
Yeah, Mackie looking for those headshots, and he can't get him yet, although the entire Experiment team did a really good job there of just defending themselves. Mackie now getting pushed by Wonderwall, and yeah, the Experiment just backed into a corner there where the sniper couldn't really hit them, where the Uber was forced to traverse a really long distance before they could get in position. CB going for an Uber saw, but that's not going to happen. The Experiment has 3 players left alive, including an overhealed Heavy. It's just Sizer and Tyrone left. So the Experiment win the defense. The thing is, though, Dante just came up. He's the only man right now who can actually get out to that second point. He's going to have to face down, what, 2 scouts, a sniper, a demo man. So their defense was okay, but it was completely immobile, and thus they are on their last point again.
They do manage to have a very large Uber advantage, so I'd expect Mackie trying to get a pick on the enemy medic. I believe that's exactly what Carmen tried to go in and do.
Has been updated.
Apparently a vast virus database has been updated, so that was cool. Oh, Mackie gets the pick on basic, though, and it sounded like there was some sizzles there, so he might have dropped an Uber. I did not spot that. But the Experiment just lost 3 players. This round is going to go to Quantic, and they should bring it to the halftime then, 3-1.
Yep, just Dummy and I played up. I mean, they could get a few kills. Spawns are happening very shortly, but it's just whether Dummy can do anything, and no, he can't, unfortunately. Banny getting those crucial stickies on the point, keeping it absolutely clear. So the score is currently 3-1 to Quantic in the first half.
That it is, and we'll be right back with that second half. That was like the world's quickest halftime, so I'm of course very thankful to the Experiment and Quantic for just immediately reading up with everybody.
We didn't get to do our MVPs though.
Well, you still can, but yeah, look at that. All the scores did reset to 0, so I don't know if I have to give an MVP for the first round, for the first half.
Mine would be CB. He stayed alive.
Yeah, I definitely would have said the same thing. The Experiment now getting out here in the second half, and once again, they're doing that thing you were talking about, being really passive. They take down Mackie, but as a result, they're all really backed up right now. They've lost O-Played, Seagull. They've killed Carmen, but Dummy goes down. It's 3 versus 3 right now. Basic taking a couple of hits here, so he's still playing aggressive and kind of bluffing his health really well right now. As a result, he's keeping his team alive, but oh, Tyrone going for him. Good hiding by Basic.
Unfortunately, CB and Tyrone disconnected. Perhaps, I mean, they did have a slight Uber advantage. I'm not saying they'd get the Uber in time, but crucially they needed to try and stay together, which unfortunately did not happen. And the first medal does go to the Experiment, so perhaps we'll see a comeback second half in this match.
Perhaps, and of course this game was casted by XTV, so if you guys have already seen it, you might know what happens. But it's a little bit closer than the first half, we'll give you credit for. I'll give you that much. The Experiment is going to be pushing in, though, and that was a really convincing mid-fight win from them. So, I mean, they're looking good. Maybe not as good as they were when they were in second place last season, but they're still a strong team. And here we go, the Uber is just now popped. Basic bringing Seagull forward, and he's going to be pressuring CB pretty well, but CB just kind of hops on that rocket, skips out of the way. A lot of players hurt for Quantic right now. They're losing health here. CB's going to have a big Uber advantage, though.
Yep, and the Experiment do crucially have 6 players up, whereas Mackie is down. Perhaps I see him take Heavy or Engineer when he spawns into... oh, and he goes Heavy! So it looks like Quantic are going to dig their feet in onto last point, try and make sure that they hold a very good defense. Actually, in fact, they're pushing out, and CB is dropped by O-Played before they can even use Uber. O-Played getting in on the back cap. Mackie's not even there to defend it. O-Played playing the quick round of his life, getting some kills on, trying to pepper Banny and the Heavy, but unfortunately, can he do it?
Oh, he does end up helping take down Banny, and now with a 97% Uber, and yeah, nobody left alive for Quantic. Basic pops Uber anyway, just trying to delay it. So that's going to be
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that Quantic decided to push out there, and obviously CB dropping the Uber. If they had managed to use the Uber in time, we did have O-Played pushing his way at the back, so there still could have been an instance of a back cap there. So it's a very nice play by the Experiment scout.
Yeah, and I'm just watching the Basic cam to see his heal order here. It looks like he's healing up Seagull second. Of course, he did that equalizer rollout that's so important. Really big jump coming in once again. I think that's going to be Mackie, and it is. And this time around, he gets 1 kill on Wonderwall. O-Played and Dante killing CB and Tyrone, though, so the combo is down for Quantic. Actually, both the combos are down. Seagull's still up, but oh man, it's 2 versus 2 here. This is going to be a crazy fight. Carmen taken down by Dante, and so Dante and Dummy, 2 men left alive here against just Banny. They're actually having to to play a really conservative game here. Banny did take another hit, but he's going to grab a health kit and be perfectly fine. Quantic has spawners, but looks like the point will get capped by just our scout demo man. Oh, dummy! He's so hurt right now.
Yep, and Banny's just pushing in a bit more because he is a very good demo man. He's confident in his skill. But on that middle, I was on the Dante cam, and once again, he was providing fantastic support to his team by peppering the right people at the right time, and crucially managing to stay alive instead of chasing Banny away. So you had the scout on the cap, and it was 2 players versus 1, which allowed the experiment to secure this middle point.
Yeah, Dante is right now playing the passive scout, which may not always be like the world's most fun job, but at least you're not dying and hurting your team as much, right? By just diving into the enemy.
And you know, peppering players that may not have, you know, they may not have you in their sights is pretty much the #1 aim for a scout at middle for perhaps the first couple of seconds into it, because most middles are a scout gameplay. If you've got quite weak scouts on a middle point, you'll really struggle to have those clutch moments.
It sounded like you may have censored yourself there a little bit.
Yeah, I'm trying not to say the scouts are the best because everyone's important, but scouts really are crucial. You do need strong scouts.
Yeah, now the Ubers are ready for both teams once again. Wonderwall looks like he may have tried to jump in somewhere. Just got taken out by stickies from Banny, though. Could have been a trap, actually. And there you go, there was a trap laid by Dummy as well. He did a lot of damage, I think, to Mackie over here. No, that was Mackie trying to push in. Now there's just some scouts with the pistols out trying to deal some long-range damage again. And the experiment is on the back foot, but CB not deciding that, and Tyrone, I guess, not deciding that they want their team to push in. Tyrone is taking some stickies here, and there goes Mackie, you know, pushing out ahead, getting killed by Dummy. Didn't do a heck of a lot there, so he just did what Wonderwall did earlier.
Yep, and the experiment should really be pushing in on this. They're quite slow to push off into the left-hand side, so I guess they're worried about Banny's stickies, perhaps. Because the longer they take to push in, the quicker Mackie is going to spawn, and that's obviously going to be a disadvantage. Mackie's just about to spawn, and they've only just Ubered in on the far left-hand side.
Kind of doing the Uber dance here as both teams, you know, smack into each other, completely invincible. Now the Ubers have faded, though. We do have, looks like Seagull jumping straight on top. Both soldiers actually going for that combo. CB is down, but that may not have been worth it, as the 2 soldiers that were bombing in after CB there were not able to focus anyone else down. That was a complete wipe for the experiment.
Yeah, and Mackie, I was on the Mackie cam at that moment, was really focusing hard on Dummy. Seagull trying to protect Dummy as long as he could, but that was a very crucial kill to make, and obviously with 6 players down, the experiment have got no real chance in defending middle point, even though they are sending 2 scouts in, knowing that they are weak, and they managed to get a kill on Carmen. And they take Sizer down, and they do.
Yeah, they do. That was really good scout play from the O-Play Dante combo. So, you know, the last season, it was all about how awesome the scouts... Oh, O-Played walking straight into a minigun.
CB on the crits.
Yeah, last season it was all about... he's got 90%, it's close. But you're right, it was all about Carmen and Sizer last season. And this season, it does seem like there's some really awesome scout combos just about everywhere you look. Here goes the crits Krieg. Oh, Basic immediately taken down by those crits. Banny aimed that perfectly, and now CB was finished off by who was that? A Seagull, though.
Yeah.
Really good air strafing on his part.
I really do enjoy seeing a crits defense, but unfortunately, CB and Banny weren't really in a position to be able to defend properly. They were essentially at a disadvantage, being able to be jumped on from a 270-degree angle. So that was a nice play by taking down Basic and getting some time, but unfortunately it wasn't enough to be able to defend their second point.
Yeah, so they are stuck on last now, and this game could end up getting tied pretty quickly. There's a lot of time left, 22.5 minutes to go in this half.
Basic is taking a leaf out the Crits Krieg book and has gone Crits Krieg, trying to get a slight Uber advantage on CB, who is about 15% behind. So unless they play it by the books on the timing, this is just not going to be a very successful crits. Perhaps they've got a longer gameplay agenda.
About ready to go here. Dante does, or I'm sorry, Dummy trying to take the crit stickies, and before it can even hit, he ends up getting killed by Banny. So yeah, that crit's not effective at all.
It's quite a common thing to see from teams who don't really play with the Crits Krieg often, to try and use it in a match in these kinds of situations. You can see from the nervousness that the stickies aren't being used, so unfortunately that push out wasn't very good for the experiment. And now they do need to try and force CB's Uber, who is, of course, pushing out. Mackie spawning on last point in 2 seconds. No chance for a back cap, and second point will be going to Quantic here.
Yeah, Experiment has like 80-85% Uber right now, and they're getting a lot closer to being able to spam those in, crit rockets, crit stickies, whatever. So let's watch the the Uber immediately popped there. As soon as CB heard ready to charge, he just laid that down. So there is a crit sticky or two here in the kitchen, but I don't think it's going to matter too terribly much, as they're not even watching it right now. So yeah, the crit stickies are already gone, didn't do anything. There's going to be now a bit of an Uber advantage again for the Experiment, but like you said, they've got to play on the clock.
And that was some fantastic play by Basic, who could quite easily have got trapped in. And I know it's very difficult trying to stay alive, but some brownie points for Quantic there, using the Uber straight in and just making sure that they did not lose any of their players from the Experiment's crit screen. And here we go, Experiment have now realised that they do need to push on this Uber advantage. So you got 70%.
Oh!
Mackie taking down Basic, fantastic play by him, just leapfrogging in there. Mackie for number 1 prog in NATF2.
That is absolutely one of the best roamer styles you will see. He and Wonderwall both do a crazy job of what Pure likes to call the retard roamer strategy, where you just you find that right time to dive bomb in and completely suicide, but if it works, it works really well.
Yeah, and only Basic is up for the Experiment, so we've got Quantic being able to push forward and take the 4th point. They could even walk straight in with the last point. They do have 100% Uber. The Experiment getting spawners here, so it's very crucial that they focus the Demoman and Medic, which is exactly what Bunny is doing, taking control of the far left-hand side. Dummy trying to get out of that tight situation there.
Now there is, it's kind of devolving into a deathmatch everywhere here, as players aren't focusing each other down very well, but there you go, the Experiment has to sit on their last point. Nonetheless, I was going to say it's a big advantage for Quantic here, and it kind of is, but it's just, I think Mackie trying to jump in, and he is going to get finished off by Dummy. So the Experiment has 2 players left. Carmen's trying to take him down, but he only had 16 health. That was not going to happen. Just a barely clutch defense there by the Experiment.
As soon as Bunny went down, holding last point was basically the Experiment's prize, as it were. It did look a bit hairy, which is why I didn't say anything immediately. But getting the enemy Demo Man down when you're trying to do a defense is pretty much textbook. Yes, okay, this is going to be in our favor now. So there's some great play by the Experiment, focusing on the right targets that they needed to do there.
Just watching where these sticky traps end up going, and actually Sizer was watching. I don't even think anybody realized he was just sitting there behind that tire, but he was watching the sticky trap as it was laid down and just started shooting it. So the Experiment's going to have their Uber just about the same time as CB. If CB had his team ready to push immediately, they might get away with something here, but 98, 99, 100. So the Uber is ready just now for Basic. He pops that in time. There is a heavy up right now.
Yeah, Mackie did try and walk in as a heavy, but unfortunately did not really get it. And Uber saw onto Wonderwall by CB, so that's a 25% advantage if he can get someone to heal there. So unfortunate Mackie didn't survive long enough. I guess he was just a distraction, because he would have been so crucial once the Ubers were faded to be able to try and get a foothold into last point. So we've got the Experiment pushing out 2 here.
Yeah, with Dummy trying to lay down the stickies on CB, really, but they've got to be careful about the jumper here. That is Basic taken down by Tyrone right before he's finished off by pretty much everybody on the Experiment. They did not manage to kill him fast enough. It was a really good perch and good jump in by Tyrone. So giving his team a huge advantage.
Yeah. And we've only got 3 players up for Quantic, and is it enough with Mackie just being taken down as a sniper? It's about time he finally got to change classes. Seagull showing some love to Mackie. CB. Oh, sorry, my antivirus got updated.
Yeah, welcome to the world of Avast, right?
Yeah. CB does have 100% Uber, and they do have 6 players up, so, you know, we could see them pushing into 4th point straight away if they start walking in now. That would be nice. Experiment staying very passive here.
Tyrone wants to walk in through this high ground. He's taking a lot of spam, but of course he is overhealed. It's going to be fine for now. It would have to be a bunch of direct hits on him to take him down. 300 health on that soldier is just scary, scary. Sizer pushing in ahead of him, actually, kind of trying to play a screen and keep the enemy back. Wonderwall is dropping back to last point once again, so the experiment is not finished defending last just yet. And Quantic has a scout on last right now.
Some great direct rockets by Tyrone straight onto dummy and then onto basic. Tyrone is the position king for Quantic. He's a very nice soldier, and a lot of this positioning has enabled him to be able to cap the last point, with the second half being 1-1 to both teams.
Yeah, that's going to make it, I believe, 4-2 right now in favor of Quantic, and so the experiment, they got plenty of time to bring this back. It's 16.5 minutes left to go. That's more than half of the half.
Yeah, and Quantic is leading 4-2 from the experiment. The experiment can still bring it back. I have every faith in their scouts and their spectacular play. If only they show a bit more aggression in middle, which they are currently doing.
Yeah, Wonderwall taking a page out of Mackey's book and just trying to jump in and do some crazy stuff. They have killed Tyrone. That is the only kill, and yet the experiment is just so far forward right now. They are pressuring the crap out of the Quantic Gaming team, even though they are all getting finished off. So actually it didn't work out too well.
Unfortunately, it seems like they just couldn't get the targets focused and make the kills. As you can see, Quantic do have 6 players up, so despite their aggressive play, they just did not get the kills that they needed to get to be able to hold that midpoint. But I really, really do like the fact that they have realized, guys, our middle isn't working, and they've changed something up, and that is so crucial when you're playing at high-level games. And Wonderwall just bombing in, trying to take down Carmen, and Carmen and Sizer obviously finishing him off. So it's 1 apiece with Quantic with full Uber, looking to push last point. Are they going to walk straight into stickies? Let's hope so.
Yeah, really, otherwise this game will be over just a little too soon in my books. But the experiment right now doesn't have an Uber. CB actually got forced a little bit early, but he's keeping his players so far forward right now. The Uber does just fade. Sizer and Banny both get taken down, actually. The scout's doing work again. It's Oplade and Dante. Carmen, though, getting on top of Wonderwall, finishing him off. He's going for Seagull as well and not taking any damage right now. That equalizer is out, but Seagull is probably going to die here.
Just on the point trying to ninja.
It is just Oplade versus Carmen here. Carmen going for the basher, I think, right now, and that was a bad idea. So Oplade wins that fight.
Sorry, what was the question?
I'm not even sure if there was a question, but definitely the experiment doing a great job on defense. It came down to the last man, and the experiment are keeping themselves in the game right now.
Let's get on the Mackie cam here, who is currently running a spy. Mackie, the designated off-classer for Quantic. I'm guessing he's looking to make a pick on the medic, but even getting a pick on the demo man, who is dummy, in this situation is a huge advantage on this last point. And instead he's going for the cap, which is very, very strange. Why, Mackie? Why? Perhaps to make them paranoid? Is there some metagame going on here? Maybe. We'll see.
Very possible, but of course with Mackie and Carmen down now, the experiment doesn't want to push out. They took down Sizer as well without taking a lot of hits from him, so it's 6v3 right now with Mackie just respawning as Soldier. What is the experiment doing right now? They really could have more players out here capping. I think they're just, maybe they are concerned about a back cap.
I would definitely be very paranoid for a back cap in the experiment, unfortunately losing Wonderwall and Quantic losing Mackie as well, so it's a player down a piece. Both teams were full Uber. CB being a bit cautious about Spires bringing out his Uber saw here.
I don't normally see Spies come out of the last point, occasionally, but that's not a very usual thing, I think, for the experiment especially. I've not seen them run Spy a lot. A little bit of damage coming into the experiment, but we're back in that stalemate situation where one team is probably going to need a pick to push in. Although, there was that time during the first half where CB just walked in Tyrone with the Uber by themselves. They forced the Uber out of the experiment and they walked away. Now it looks like Mackie was going for actually a kill there on Basic or an Uber force, and Basic just held onto it. Nice play by him.
Yep, and unfortunately Wonderwall keeps dying at any time the experiment does have an advantage of pushing out, and they did just to use the Uber. CB trying to block Seagull from dropping back. He's surely going to die, and he does, taking a rocket from Tyrone. Quantic with 6 players. Mackie on Engineer. Very strange choice of classes here.
I saw this yesterday when I casted a game with Greg as well. An offensive engineer on last point, and it didn't work then either. The experiment with a 5-kill streak here, and Mackie is the only man left. He could be building a sentry, I think, just to defend second. It's level 1. It's not going to do anything. This scout just took a bunch of damage, but it's down. So goodbye, Mackie. It's a nice try.
The only reason why I can see you'd use an engineer in this situation is to be an attention grabber. Or a griefer. A massive, you know, screw you to the opposing team.
And you know, maybe he is just trying to get under their skin a little bit. I think the experiment, of course, with a 4-2 deficit right now is looking to bring something back and maybe just letting their nerves get to them. So if Quantic can appear confident that they're going to win this game, I mean, that can work wonders for the psychological aspect of the game, right?
Yep, and Carmen getting a great pick on played, which is very unfortunate because the experiment do have 100% Uber and Mackie does die trying to force the Uber. But it does mean that the experiment cannot gain any position advantage with their Uber, which is very unfortunate. They seem to be losing players at any situation where they could look to push out against Quantic, which is a real shame here.
Tyrone just took a bit of spam there, I think, from Wonderwall. And there's a lot of overhealing going on, especially on the core right now. That's going to be Dummy and Seagull. Wonderwall took a bit of a buff there as well, so let me see if I can find him. Nah, he's still playing kind of far back right now, so that's too bad.
Yeah. I'd like to see the experiment scouts getting a little buff and trying to see if they can get a another nice little pick here, or perhaps a field of view to be able to say, right, Mackie's on sniper, let's push in. But unfortunately, they just don't have that kind of recon going on. There we go.
At the moment,
getting a buff here, and they are still inching forward.
Yeah, Oplayed has walked out now, and the Uber is popped as well, so this is really good coordination. Oplayed showing up right at the same time that the Ubers are popped. Mackie's taken down some good high ground positioning originally by Experiment, but now they're getting pushed away here by Tyrone, who has a huge buff. There goes Dummy. CB and Banny are both down, though, and the Experiment is starting to clean up here. Where is Carmen and Tyrone? Those two could play spoiler for this point, but right now it looks like they've backed up.
Yeah, and Tyrone, of course, as a pocket, needs to get back and start trying to decide what tactics he wants to do for defending this next point. With more players up spawning for Quantic, they could try and challenge the second point, but unfortunately CB has only just spawned, so it's not really a viable option for them.
Yeah, Wonderwall up here by himself right now, and he was just trying to cover a flanking route that Quantic could potentially have used. Tyrone is poking his head out there, just trying to push back the Experiment a little bit, but look at the Uber advantage right now for Experiment. They should push in on this. Oplayed going for a kill. Oh, he's so close to eating that rocket there, but he is still alive. Doesn't even want to take heals from the medic. He's just going to go back and grab a kit, which is kind of out of the way there. Yeah,
and it's very odd that the Experiment were oh, they finally pushed in now.
Yeah, it took them a little while there to figure out that, oh, we should probably push on this. Maybe they weren't counting their Ubers or something, although I think they would have been. But CB taken down there. He is the first casualty for Quantic. A lot of very, very hurt players on Quantic, and oh no, they're getting all the kills though. Look at that.
That's some great play once again by Quantic, managing to defend last. CB was on 86% health, so if the Experiment had decided to delay themselves a little bit longer, this could be... I mean, it could have gone... It would have been exactly the same, but more Uber dancing, I guess.
I was trying to get on the Oplayed cam there because he just had to spit on Mackie, and Mackie died. Carmen coming in around behind, killing Dummy. Gonna go for possibly the kill on the medic as well. The Experiment trying to recapture the second point that they lost, and there goes Carmen now, aka Clockwork. They are, of course, the same person. He's got like an alter ego, one of those superhero identity things.
Besides just trying to pick off Basic, and with a little bit of help from Banny, he does. Basic going down. CB still up, of course, rocking around with a huge 50% advantage.
Would you say he's rocking around the Christmas tree?
No.
No?
It's too early for that, I'm afraid.
Oh, not here in the US.
You guys have been celebrating Christmas since July.
Exactly. So the Experiment is... It looks like they are kind of in a position to lose middle. They've got a couple players up here, and it looks like Dummy maybe is starting to set up some sticky traps, so should be okay for a bit. Who is that hurting himself with a Boston Basher? Somebody is trying to build an Uber. Oh, maybe it was just Oplayed eating a sticky, because Banny gets the kill on Oplayed. Banny's still trying to defend that second point, and now he's getting pressured from behind by Dante. Nice kill by Dante, who now has to escape some very angry soldiers and a scout.
Yep. And unfortunately, both teams losing players, and of course losing out on this Uber advantage, which is tactically a it's wasted time, really. Time is money in this game.
Time really is money when you think about the prize pool for ESEA LAN. I think first place gets something like $5,000 for the team. It's a lot of money.
I would like $5,000 playing games.
I would love $5,000. You want to know how much I've earned on Justin TV? I'll tell you guys. I'll give you a hint. It might be 17 cents. So I could definitely use some kind of money like that. But anyway, the experiment, they do push in, but Dummy was way out of position there. Not sure what happened. And now most of the experiment dying. It is just their combo left alive here in the house. They're getting pressured by Tyrone, and Tyrone does get that kill on Basic with the equalizer. I love that little weapon. It is so crazy. Yeah, Dummy's getting back to mid now, and he's going to start trying to lay down some stickies just to delay the capture. But Quantic is going to have this captured. There's no way I think that the experiment can really defend it unless he goes absolutely crazy right now. All right, so the experiment, I didn't think they could defend this, but apparently they are. Quantic just didn't take advantage of their big player advantage that they had, so now they... I don't know, it looks like they want to push, but this time around, Tyrone and Mackie both going down. That's no soldiers left alive. The experiment has a nice advantage here in players now in damage outputs. Seagull ends up getting finished, so now no soldiers for the experiment either, but they've already done the damage. It's just going to be Banny and Carmen left, and Banny gets taken down by the, oh, what is that weapon called? The 3-rune blade?
What class is that weapon allowed for?
It's the reskin of the Boston Basher that came with some game.
I can't been trying to defend and last point with 20 HP, managing to take down Dante and helping out with a kill on Dummy as well.
Yeah, the experiment tried to push in, I think, just a little bit too hard there. They ran into spawners, but they do have an Uber advantage, and most of their players are going to be respawning right now. So CB, he's going to be nowhere near that level of Uber. Oh, why would they pop it right here? It's such a travesty. They get a kill on Tyrone, which isn't bad, but now they're going to have to back away.
Yeah.
Oh, Wonderwall actually is, well, they're, yeah, the experiment is doing some crazy stuff right now. So they're, I don't know, they're just getting completely owned, and yet they have a back cap going on, so that makes it 4-3 with like 5 minutes left to go. This is starting to get really tight. All right, it is the final round pretty much now. I can't see a round. It's possible to have fast rounds on Snakewater, I guess, but they haven't been fast at all in this game. So I'm going to call it the final round here. Can the experiment bring this game to a tie? What do you think?
I think they can. They are bringing it back now that things are changing slightly.
And oh man,
pace.
This mid-fight not going very well for them right now. They just tried to be really aggressive and bomb in there, and this is going to be a complete wipe. In fact, a clean wipe, as the experiment lost all 6 players once again. Didn't get any kills. This happened last time around, though, and they actually managed to just barely defend their last point. So I'm not putting anything past them. And there you go. The experiment now has forced the Uber out of CB, but I mean, it's really where they want it. The scouts are both back there capping. There's a lot of damage coming down on the experiment. Oplate and Seagull both down, and a lot of damage coming down here. It's going to be Quantic Legacy losing most of their players. Mackie just came back up as Spy, and he may go for a back cap or something, but the experiment...
Sizer trying to take down Basic here, and can he get the shots on him?
Oh,
he does finally. Sizer just trying to clean up, and Wonderwall on full HP, getting a great rocket on Sizer, managing to defend the last point for the experiment.
Yeah, Wonderwall did a pretty gosh darn good job there himself, and is... Whoa, what is he even shooting at right now? Maybe he just saw Mackie, but I don't know. Oplade was out there, I think, trying to get a cap or trying to go after CB. Did not manage to do that at all, and now Wonderwall's been spotted out here downstairs as well. Does get taken out by Carmen. So Carmen doing a great job here. I just plugged my nose for a second there. That's what you guys heard. And now here comes another push, I think, but is this going to be a good time to push? Well, Basic is way out of position. He's at like 50 health right now, picking up a scout, running back, and Banny getting pressured really hard here. Hits a pipe, can't hit that second one. Dante finishes off CB at the same time as Oakley kills Banny. Dante now finishing off with 2 health left, finishing off Tyrone. And so
Mackie building his sentry again on the health pack for second point.
Oh, Mackie. And he's got the little party hat on. He's got the the summer shades. That's the summer shades.
Yeah.
He's just standing here staring at us. I feel like he planned this for the cast.
Yeah.
Well, once again, a little downstairs push here by our blue team. The experiment, Dante, he's good at DM, but it's not like he can avoid every single bullet out there, can he? Maybe he can. 6 health left, and he and Dummy both take down Sizer. Wonderwall takes out Carmen. The Experiment trying to push really hard here, and now Dante's going to run back to last just to see if he can't get some health, defend it, whatever. But the Experiment may be able to recap their second point, even after that ridiculous mid-fight loss. Wow.
That's some great play, once again, by the Experiment. And now they're just trying to push out CB on 65%. Basic racking up a small Uber. No, very tiny Uber advantage here. The Experiment fighting for middle point and being taken down by Oplade and Dante's great teamwork together. They just can't get the kill. Oh, basic getting goes down with 91% Uber. The CB is also down, so it's level footing right here.
How does Carmen do that? I don't understand. I wish I could play Scout like a 10th that well. But yeah, the Experiment is still trying to push here, and they're going to get that second point. CB just now coming back up, healing up a Scout who is just a little bit too fast for him, so the heals aren't going to be very fast. Right now, Seagull is just walking back to basic, and so once again, they're going to have an Uber disadvantage here, the Experiment, but it's not really going to be enough for Quantic to push on. Basic took a bunch of damage there from Mackie, but that's, you know, it's typical Mackie for you. Dive bombing in.
Yeah, and we've got Quantic holding last point with a 20% Uber advantage over the Experiment. At the moment, the Experiment needs to start thinking about trying to get some picks as CB is getting close to the 100%. He's staying on the far left-hand side of the defensive point of view, which is a nice place to hold.
There was a sniper up there as well. I think that may have been Mackie trying to snipe, but he walked back in and changed back out to Soldier, whoever that was. And now, Wonderwall's finished off. Quantic is looking like they have a good defense so far. They've lost both their scouts, but now Tyrone pressuring the medic demo combo takes out Basic, finished off by Dummy. It's 2v2 right now. Dante going for the kill on the point here. Can't quite finish off CB, and Dummy is he's not able to hit these stickies right. I think CB was going for an Uber saw, got too close. Dummy finished him with a pipe, and now Mackie takes Dummy out from above. This fight's still going on, actually, and that was
I know,
Seagull.
Still pushing in.
Seagull trying to bomb in, and Mackie just finishes him off with a beautiful, clean air shot there, and does the same thing to Wonderwall, and that is GG, 4-3. The Experiment bringing that really, really close. I think Quantic looked a little bit better as far as the team coordination and all that, but on the whole, that was a very close game.
Yep, some great play by both teams, but congratulations to Quantic and commiserations to the Experiment there.
Yeah, excellently done. So guys, thank you for watching. This has, of course, been Salamancer. You can check me out on youtube.com/fatmop. You can check me out on Twitch TV/fatmop. I know a lot of you are right now. And, of course, Psunfragga, any last shout-outs from you?
Nope. If I don't talk to you guys again, Merry Christmas.
We're going to sign out.